Worst Ways People Have Died, Part 33. The five-seater Eurocopter E-120B aircraft landed at a luxury fishing campsite in the country's remote. Around 11 a.m. the pilot unloaded the passengers close to the Redder River and began to take off. According to one report, a strong gust of wind might have caused the chopper to tilt, causing the craft's rotor blade to strike the men, killing them.
Worst Ways People Have Died, Part 54. She was reliant on an oxygen machine because of health problems. She was feeling anxious about a trip to the dentist. She had a heart rate of 130 beats per minute, spurring a dental assistant to suggest waiting for Walter's heart rate to come down. The dentist, however, allegedly didn't think waiting was necessary. After the dentist pulled 16 out of the 18 teeth that Walters needed to have pulled, the dentist decided to stop for the day. Sadly, her tank ran out of oxygen, and she later died at a hospital. Worst Ways People Have Died, Part 56. Michael couldn't sleep after coming from rehearsing This Is It. So he asked Dr. Murray to administer the status of the Lorenzo Pan. When that didn't work, he asked Murray to give the Propofol, a general anesthetic that ascetines in 40 seconds. Once it's in the body, the Propofol affects GABA receptors. A mild dose causes decrease in eye pressure, but an overdose can make patients stop breathing. People reacting to their death sentence. Dumbest Criminals Ever, Part 12. Suspect Unknown. A driver fell asleep in the back of his bus when somehow a monkey managed to sneak in. The monkey then managed to start the bus and began to drive it down the street. By the time the driver woke up, it was already too late. He tried to chase away the monkey. The driver scared the monkey, causing it to shift the vehicle into second gear. The driver could only helplessly watch as his vehicle crashed into other parked buses. Dumbest Criminals Ever, Part 20. This is Ahmed Muhammad. Ahmed likes to make all kinds of gadgets and wanted to show his teacher the clock he just made. The first teacher he showed his clock to said he shouldn't show the other teachers. The alarm went off during his English class, and the teacher took the clock, saying it looked like a bomb. Then the principal and a police officer took him to the office where 4 other officers were waiting. Ahmed was arrested and humiliated as he walked through the hallway in cuffs. He was taken to juvenile detention, where he was booked and charged with making a fake bomb. Dumbest Criminals Ever, Part 29. This is Charles Berry. Charles was going through a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru and wanted a discount on his order. When the cashier didn't give him a discount, he showed a fake police badge so he could get the discount. Charles returned a few days later with his family and claimed to be an air marshal to get a discount. The manager at Dunkin' Donuts had a police officer confront Charles about his fake credentials. Charles was then charged and arrested for impersonating a police officer. Worst ways people have died. Part 2. Worst ways people have died. Part 17.
Stylish marriage, I can't afford.
Worst ways people have died. Part 18.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
The Worst Ways People Have Died, Part 3.
Christian Juicy was working the elevator of a new construction project when the elevator stalled. The elevator was stuck a few feet from the TH floor and the men had no other choice but to jump off the elevator. The first man made it down, but Christian fell backwards into the elevator shaft. Christian was unfortunately found dead in the cellar 20 minutes later.
Follow for more. The Worst Ways People Have Died, Part 9.
Ora was crossing the bridge from East Boston to the Chelsea side on her way to a doctor's appointment. The bridge operator then lifted the bridge to let a passing boat travel through the bridge. A pedestrian who was waiting to cross the bridge started to hear screams. As the plates of the bridge rose, Ora grabbed onto one of them and screamed for help hanging above the water. When the bridge operator heard Ora's screams, he lowered the bridge to help, but ended up crushing her instead.
Follow for more. Famous Autopsies, Part 4. Chris Benoit was a pro wrestler spanning a career of 22 years. Over a 3-day period from June 22nd to June 24th, 2007, Chris would go on to take the lives of both his wife, his son, as well as his own. On the 25th, all 3 bodies were found, and it was revealed that he had strangled both his wife and son before taking his own life. Autopsy revealed high levels of testosterone due to steroid use, as well as testicular shrinkage. Marks were found around his neck, as well as busted vessels. His brain showed signs of swelling, as well as shrinkage in the tissue, which made his brain comparable to that of someone with late-stage Alzheimer's. He had severe damage due to long-time blows over and over to his head. Worst Animal Attacks, Part 8. So on July 23rd of 2016, the woman whose name has been released as Miss Zhao was accompanied with her mom and her husband to a safari park in Beijing. It's one of those parks where you drive through and there's animals around, you don't get out of the car. Well, Miss Zhao gets into an argument with her husband and decides to get out of the car. and as you can see there, it does not turn out too well for her. Shortly after, her husband and mom race out of the car, and someone professional shows up. After all this, Miss Yao actually survives, and it's her mom that loses her life. Husband was unscathed as well.